Gosh, well, I'm about 3 years into trying to raise birds, and of course,
Okay.
I learned from who I consider the best is Joel Salatin. He
hmm
literally wrote the book, so and wrote lots of books, and so I have taken a lot of those concepts in. I've learned from friends, but
I recently traveled to Texas to go to the annual chicken conference. That's right, the Pastured Poultry Producers Conference hosted by the American Pastured Poultry Producers Association, or lovingly APAPAPAPA. I collected 40 different interviews from 40 different farmers where I asked them one question each. So now let's jump into the next one. We are here at APA 2024, the best poultry conference. It's kind of the only poultry conference,
it's
right?
awesome.
It's the best. And I'm here with a new friend. And second time at the conference,
Yep.
fantastico.
Yes.
And so can you, for those who don't know at home, can you give me your name, your farm name or organization, and what state you operate in?
Absolutely. I'm Cindy Telesack. I am the executive director of the Giving Garden at Jacobs Reward Farm,
Mhm.
just down the street here.
Just down the street.
It
You
is
had an
so
easier commute.
sweet. How can you not come?
Right?
Yeah. So here in Texas,
Yeah.
and we're a donation farm. So we grow to give to area food banks and other places where there are people who need good food.
That was what a beautiful mission. Very aligned with mine of inspiring and educating the next generation of farmers and homesteaders.
Exactly.
Now I have to know, you've been doing this. What is one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you were starting out?
Oh, gosh, well, I'm about 3 years into trying to raise birds, and of course,
Okay.
I learned from who I consider the best is Joel Salatin. He
hmm
literally wrote the book, so and wrote lots of books, and so I have taken a lot of those concepts in. I've learned from friends, but um, the surprise was that Joel doesn't live in Texas.
He does not live in Texas.
No, and so what works for him doesn't work quite as well for me, and that I had to really kind of own my context
Yeah.
and make some adjustments based on what I really knew were the facts on the ground here in Texas. Like it's too hot. It's too hot for some of the ways that Joel does things, and that's cool. Um, I have learned from all these wonderful conference speakers how to make those adjustments.
That's perfect.
What's different. It's like just because somebody says that, if you know it gets 109 for 2 weeks here in Texas, you can't
No,
put
thank you.
a metal roof over chickens 2 feet over their heads. It's just
Yeah.
not going to work. So but you still stick with the basics.
Stick with the basics.
Their chickens are chickens, and there are certain things they just need, and so it's always good to be reminded of the basics.
That has been fantastic information. There's not one way to be successful.
No.
There's many ways
Yeah.
to be successful. Not one
Yeah.
right way, but another way.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Even in our neighborhood, there are people that do. I mean, when I say neighborhood, I mean Northeast Texas.
Yeah.
There's many ways to still be successful.
I wonder how many Connecticut's we could fit in a Northeast Texas. Thank you for your time.
You're so welcome, John. Thank you for your commitment to the community. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. As farmers, we know it's not always about having the answer, because you're never going to have the answer because there's too many questions, but you don't always know what questions to ask. And that's where the APA Grit comes in. Every other month, we get this publication that comes out in both digital and print format, which helps us with those questions, anything from production to business to marketing, like what questions to ask when choosing a website platform, in issue number 138, November-December 2023. It goes through in print, which is so nice. How will the platform support your marketing? Do you plan to sell meat by the pound or by the package? Do you need a point of sale for in-person sales? All those things that we need to know, cleverly printed and laid out and sponsored by some of the best people in the industry. What a wonderful thing. If you love chickens as much as I do, you'll be at this for a while and you'll start to collect these things. And let me tell you, every single one has been worthwhile. Head on over to appa.org to become a member today and join a vibrant community of pastured poultry producers.